What's the best way to predict someone's future behavior? Well, it's to look at their past behavior. And when you look at Mark Carney's actions when it comes to standing up for Canada, his track record is terrible. Let me explain. By now, we've all heard about Mark Carney's decision to abandon Canada. As we were facing this major threat from the US administration, Mark Carney was already leaving Canada behind to move his investments into the US. Then, he was even caught lying about it.
The formal decision of the board, happened after I ceased to be on the board.
But press releases from October say the decision had already been made and only needed formal approval. City News contacted the Carney campaign and Brookfield for an explanation, but has received no response.
But the story is so much worse than that. Let's take a look at what Carney and Brookfield were up to years before Donald Trump became president. This is Mark, don't call me Vice Chair Carney.
You were the vice chairman at Brookfield Asset Management prior to
the chair.
The
I was the chair.
Sorry.
As head of Brookfield, he had a long history of putting America ahead of Canada. Now, the way Brookfield set up its corporate structure is a little bit complicated, and they're not the most transparent company, probably why Mark Carney got along so well there. But here are the details. Brookfield Asset Management handles Brookfield Corporation's investments, kind of like if you had a financial advisor to handle your investments. Both are Brookfield's, and just to make the point that they're one big happy family, Mark Carney's friend, Bruce Flatt, is CEO of both Brookfield Corporation and Brookfield Asset Management. Brookfield posts their annual reports, including where their assets are located. Mark Carney was appointed vice chair of...
Okay. So two things. I'll just correct a few factual things. One, I was chair of Brookfield Asset Management.
Mark Carney was appointed chair of Brookfield Asset Management in August 2020. So what do the numbers show about Mark Carney's time as chairman? Well, let's take a look. From 2021 to 2024, Brookfield's assets in the United States increased by 22%. During that same time, Brookfield's assets in Canada decreased by 8%. More investments in the US, less investments in Canada. So the man who wants to be prime minister of our country wasn't even investing in Canada when he had the chance. Brookfield's assets during that time increased in just about every other country except for Canada. Take a look for yourself. While Carney was head of Brookfield, their investments in Australia was up 41%, 31% higher in India, 43% in Germany, 58% higher in Asia, and in a category called Other, their investments went up 164%. Now, investments is one thing. Clearly, Mark Carney didn't have the confidence in the economy that he was helping to run as Justin Trudeau's senior economic advisor. This is Mark Carney. This is his actual record, creating jobs outside of Canada and moving investments to the United States. And this is Brookfield, a company that Mark Carney still holds investments in, but he refuses to share any details with Canadians. When he had a chance, he wasn't choosing Canada. He wasn't choosing to invest in our country or in our workers. He wasn't creating jobs here at home. He was exporting those investments all across the world. So given his track record of moving his head office to the US, of investing more in other countries and America than here in Canada, after lying about his track record and keeping all his conflicts of interest hidden, what makes you think that he would stick up for us as Prime Minister? The only way to strengthen our economy and put Canada first is to vote Pierre Poilievre and the Common Sense Conservatives.